Hey y'all, we are back with part two of the live coaching series. Um, as a fitness and nutrition coach, I am tired of seeing the girls have such high, strong goals going into the new year just for it to be February, and now they fell off. They're not consistent, they're not motivated anymore. So I decided to make this live coaching series, number one, to show you everything that has held you back from hitting your goals in 2024 and teach you exactly what you need to do to be successful in 2025. The first call was all about mindset and how to push past that to be consistent. So, if you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch that now. So, this call will make sense. But today we are talking about nutrition, y'all. I do not care how much you work out. If you do not pair it with nutrition, there will always be a cap on the progress you can achieve. I'm going to say that one more time for the people that haven't woke up yet. I do not care how much you work out. If you do not pair it with nutrition, there will always be a cap on the results you can achieve. And I say this from my own journey, right? From being let down and disappointed in my own progress. When I first started my journey, I didn't have all the answers, I didn't know everything, but I know that I wanted a change, so I just started, right? That's all you can ask is for somebody to just start. When I started, I went to the gym 5 times a week. I lifted really heavy and I was consistent. I showed up, I applied progressive overload, and I kept going. I'm thinking like that's like what more can you do besides work out 5 days a week? Like I felt like that was enough. Sure, I actually did make gains, but they're more so like starter gains, right? It wasn't until my third year in my fitness journey that I really learned more about nutrition and how to use it in order for me to progress my gains. So, in my third year on my fitness journey, I gained 25 pounds. I gained more in 1 year on my fitness journey than I did in 2 years lifting heavy, working out 5 days a week. In my third year, all I did was work out 3 times a week and eat. So I'm telling y'all, nutrition works. It's the key to unlocking progress in a shorter time frame. If you relate to that and you've been on your journey for a while now, and you're just like, I put so much work in, I feel like I should be a lot further along in my progress, but for some reason it's just not clicking. If you're ready to let the new year be the year you prioritize nutrition on your journey and maximize your results to get them faster, I need you to comment 2025 in the chat or go ahead and DM it to me on Instagram so I can really see who I need to help. Nutrition is the number one thing I see that delays women's progress on their journey and gets them stuck in a plateau. It's not the amount of cardio you're doing, it's not the amount of weight you're lifting, it's not you doing the wrong workouts, it's your eating patterns. These are the top things I see women do wrong in their nutrition. Number one, having unhealthy relationships with food. We kind of talked about this in the last call, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But number one, having food fears. That's one thing that I see commonly. So women kind of being scared of certain foods, and that causes them not to be able to eat enough in order to hit the goals that they need to. Also, stress eating. If something goes bad in your day, the first response you should have is not like what food will make me feel better, what will comfort me. You might need a therapist, you might need better self-care, better coping skills, but it's not food. Also having like a mindset of like I have to do this in order to earn food. Or like, oh my God, I just ate all this. I need how much do I need to do in order to burn it off? Like those are all bad, having bad relationships with food. The second thing is always looking for a quick fix. I think social media has wired our brain to think that everything happens in a short time frame, and that is not true. Especially seeing people always run like maybe like 30-day challenges. That makes you think like that's how quick progress should come, and I'm here to tell you that that is a lie. Things like extreme dieting, so like cutting out all of something, fasting, intermittent fasting, juicing and juice cleanses and detoxes and all that kind of stuff. Those are the quick fixes that I'm talking about. And those never lead to good things. Yes, in the moment after your 7-day juice cleanse, you probably did lose some pounds, right? Number one, that was water weight. And number two, when the juice fast is over, you probably have seen yourself gain that weight back. Number one, you lost the weight because you were in a deficit, right? You weren't eating, you were just drinking juice. So you're in a deficit. So naturally you lost the weight. you're going to gain it back because you didn't learn any positive habits, or you didn't even change your habits in the first place in order to lose the fat and keep it off. And then also, usually when you cut something off cold turkey, so if you said like for 60 days, I'm not going to have any sugar, but you know that you need something sweet after every meal. If you deprived yourself from that for 60 days, number one, congratulations. But in the 60 days, probably for the last week of that 60 days, you were thinking about like, what's the first dessert I'm gonna get when I come up off this 60 days? So you've been waiting and anticipating having this sugar, having these desserts again. You're going to crash out when you finally get the opportunity to eat it. So those extreme like dieting, fasting, juicing, they never lead to long-term results. And in my opinion, like my belief as a coach, there's no point in doing anything that's not sustainable. You shouldn't be doing anything in your nutrition journey that you can't do today, that you can't do until you're 60 years old. So we need to start choosing sustainability over quick fixes. Number 3, not having a full understanding and concept of food. Until you understand until you have a full understanding of food, the different macros, and what food does for your body, you will never be able to reach your goals. If you are eating a Chipotle bowl, you don't have and you put the guac and the queso and the sour cream and all in the vinaigrette, and you have no concept of all of these foods are high in fat. So this healthy dinner is now a 1,800 calorie meal, and that's just one meal in a day. Yeah. So you have to have a full, complete understanding of food in order to be successful in your journey. There are 3 different macronutrients. Macronutrients are the nutrients your body needs in its highest doses. Those 3 macros are carbs, protein, and fat. They all play a different part in your body. Carbs is the body's main energy source. Protein helps repair your body's cells, muscles, and tissues. And fat protects your organs, and it also transports nutrients throughout your body. All the macros play a vital role in your body's function, so there's no reason that you should be cutting out complete food groups because your body needs them. Some example of carbs is fruits, veggies, whole grains. Some proteins would be like meats and dairy sources, and then fats would be oils, omega-3 fats, which is like salmons and avocados, and different things like that. So you really need to truly understand food on a macro level to know what you should be eating and how much you need to be putting in your body. Next is under eating. You already know that this is going to come up in every nutrition conversation I have because this is 99% of women's problems. I talk to women about their nutrition and fitness journey all day, every day. I've rarely ever had a woman come into my program that is just overeating. I know that might sound crazy because the world tells us that people or America has like this big overeating problem. I'm not saying that's not true, but even if women are trying to lose like 20 to 50 pounds, their problem is rarely ever that they're overeating, is that they're undereating. Undereating is harmful for I don't care if you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, undereating is harming your progress. There's a set amount of food that everybody needs to be eating specifically to you, just for your body to maintain itself, not to gain or lose, but just for it to maintain itself. And that's also known as maintenance calories or your body's maintenance intake. Number 1, if you're trying to gain, then the only way to gain weight is to eat in a caloric surplus. That's not my opinion. That's not what I think. That's what science tells us. A caloric surplus is eating more food than you burn every single day. So, for example, let's just say you are a woman and your maintenance intake is 2,000 calories a day. So your body needs 2,000 calories in order for it to maintain itself. Most women I talk to eat 1 to 2 meals a day. So that's no more than probably 1,300 calories on average. Like I said, in order to gain, needs to be in a surplus. So if your maintenance is 2,000, you need to be eating over 2,000, but you're over here eating 1 to 2 meals a day at 1,300. You're over 1,000 calories behind in order to gain. So if you're eating 1,000 calories less than you need to eat a day, how are you going to gain? You're not. It's just science tells you you're not going to gain. And now I'm going to take a break from y'all and I'm about to talk to my ladies that are trying to lose right quick. So people think if you're trying to lose, you just need to eat less. That is true. However, your body is not ready to lose fat. Let me break that down a little bit further. So you're still the woman whose maintenance calories is 2,000 calories, right? But you're also that woman that's only eating 1 to 2 meals a day. You're at about no more than 1,300 calories a day. In order for you to lose weight, you need to be in a deficit. So that means burning more calories than you consume. In order for you to be in a deficit, that means you have to cut the calories that you're eating. If you're already at about 12 to 1,300 calories a day, there's no more food that you can cut that would be healthy, that would lead to fat loss. So if you're somebody, a woman, I hear this often too, I don't know why I can't lose fat. I don't even eat a lot of food throughout the day, but it's just not falling off. Or I'm actually gaining more instead. I hear this so often, y'all. That means that you need to be in a reverse diet. On Monday, we talked about mindset. That's the first phase in my program, for my online coaching program. The second is reverse diet. A reverse diet is the process of slowly increasing your food up into your body's maintenance levels in order to respond to a bulk or a cutting phase. When you undereat for so long, whether intentional or unintentional, for most women, you unintentionally don't eat enough, right? You're not hungry because you're busy and you don't have time to eat throughout the day. You're not hungry because you don't have this appetite, right? So most women unintentionally undereat. When you do that for so long, your metabolism dies. So you're not going to effectively lose weight at all. Your metabolism is dead. It's not responding to the process of losing. Reverse diet works to restore your metabolism through eating more. It also helps eating more feel less overwhelming, because if you are the person that's eating 1,300 calories, you need to be at 2,000. Making an extreme jump to 700 calories just feels overwhelming. It feels impossible. And then think about if you're the woman that needs to gain up 1,000 calories, that's not going to happen, right? So oftentimes when women feel overwhelmed and they feel like something is impossible, they just throw their hands up, give up altogether. So instead of doing that, the reverse diet works to increase your food over time as opposed to all at one time. So it doesn't feel overwhelming. It feels doable. It feels achievable. And it leads to more success. It also works to restore your appetite and your hunger cues. So I know a lot of women don't eat because they don't feel hungry throughout the day. Let me use this analogy. If your homegirl calls you with a problem with her man every week, she's always going off about how he didn't do this, but she don't ever leave him. At some point, you're going to be like, okay, girl, you're going to start to tune her out because you know she's not going to leave him. So there's no point in me giving you no advice. There's no point in me investing into listening to you because you're not going to do nothing different. That's exactly how I want you to think of your hunger cues. If for so long, when your stomach starts growling, you're like, I'll eat later, I'm busy right now. Or I don't feel like cooking, so we're just going to sit down and rest for a minute. I'm not going to eat right now. At some point, after doing that for so long, your hunger cues are going to stop telling you you're hungry. That's why you don't have an appetite. This could have happened so long ago, you don't even realize or remember that that's what happened. So reverse diet helps you to increase your appetite more. It also helps you increase more muscle mass because the more food that you're feeding your body and your muscles, the more it allows them to grow. This also, one more thing, it allows for more freedom in your diet, because when you're tracking food, I know I'm personally somebody that does need something sweet for most days. So if I know that I want a little bit of ice cream at the end of the night, I can maybe have a less fattening lunch or less fattening breakfast in order to make more room for that at the end of the night. So it allows you to have more things that you enjoy, and it's not as restrictive as just being in a overall diet. If you keep trying to enter a weight loss or a weight gain phase from a place of deprivation, and you're skipping the reverse diet and you're trying to go straight into it, it's going to fail every time. The reverse diet is what you are missing in your journey. If you have a problem eating 1 to 2 meals a day and not consistently getting hungry throughout the day, you literally cannot afford to not prioritize your nutrition and skip this step going into the new year. If this applies to you, I want you to comment 2025 in the chat, DM it to me, whatever you need to do. I'm going to set up a consultation call with you to show you my step-by-step method of how I will help you lose body fat and gain muscle in the new year. I promise there is a method out there that works. It's not extreme dieting. It's not juicing. It's not intermittent fasting. It's simply eating the right amount of food for your body every day, in turn forcing it to lose weight or gain weight. That's all it is. It's just science, y'all. You could go ahead and comment or DM me 2025 in order for you to get started for the new year. The next thing is not tracking your food. The only way to be sure you're eating the right amount of food for your body every single day is to track it. Because losing weight and gaining weight comes down to being in a caloric deficit or being in a caloric surplus. So if in order to be in a caloric deficit, you need to be eating 1,700 calories a day, how can you be sure you're eating 1,700 calories a day without tracking your food? If in order to gain weight, you need to be eating 2,600 calories a day and you're not tracking your food, how do you know that you are eating more calories than you're burning? You don't. You have to be tracking your food in order to get the result you want. If you've been doing the same thing year after year and you're not getting the results you want, why are you still doing it? I promise there's a method out there that works. You just have to start doing it, y'all. You have to know exactly how many calories, carbs, fats, and proteins you need to eat every day in order for your body to produce the result you're looking for. I want to give y'all like a quick little story time example. A couple of weeks ago, I was in the gym talking to my homeboy, and he's one of the stereotypical gym bros, right? So he lifts heavy. He's been training for years. He has big old muscles. And so you would think he would know exactly what he's doing. He told me that he's trying to lean out. He's been trying to lean out for some months, and it's just been kind of hard. He's been fasting. He's been eating clean. He just don't know what the problem is. Me being the friendly nutrition coach that I am, I'm like, no problem. I want you to track your food for the next 2 to 3 days. Come back to me next time you see me, show it to me, and I can easily pinpoint. Like, I bet you I can look at it and pinpoint exactly what the problem is. Lo and behold, he tracked. He came back to me. I did a quick scroll, immediately saw the problem. It's not that he wasn't eating clean, eating the right food. He was, right? He was eating protein shake, like smoothies. He was having lean protein sources, lean meats, veggies, fruits, all that kind of stuff. That was no problem. The problem was when I looked at it, about 60% of his food was coming from carbs. He was putting like 2 bananas in the protein shakes. He was putting oats in the protein shakes. He was having yogurt bowl with granola in it. He was eating like lots of bread, all this kind of stuff. I'm not saying carbs are bad in any shape or form. And I'm not saying he was eating bad things, but it was the amount of food that he was eating that was not conducive to him leaning out. And he wouldn't have known that he was not eating the right amount of food until he started tracking, y'all. Even though he was eating clean, the right amount of food, he did not understand that it was the wrong amount of food. Not only that, but without a full understanding of food and macros, he had no idea that the foods he was eating was so high in carbs in the first place. Because losing fat comes down to science. Making gains comes down to science. Calories in versus calories out. You simply have to know how much you're eating every day. There's no way around it. However, if you don't want to be bothered with tracking, I know it can be taxing. I know it can be time consuming. It's not everybody's favorite thing, right? If you don't feel like being bothered with tracking, but you still want simplified results, I give my clients pre-portioned meal plans that have their exact macros and calorie counts for each meal, so you don't have to track your food at all. You just cook it and you just eat it. If that's what you're looking for and going into the new year, go ahead and DM me at 2025. I promise I have the solutions for everything you're struggling with, and I'm offering them to you. So there's no reason you shouldn't be able to reach your goals going to the new year. If you don't, at this point, it's just because it wasn't a priority to you. And that's completely okay. It doesn't have to be everybody's priority. But if you are someone who's making it a priority going into the new year, you are the kind of woman that I'm looking to work with. So go ahead and DM me and we will figure out the solution that works for you. I'll see you on Sunday at 3 or 4 p.m. I have to go check on my Instagram, but I'll see you on Sunday, and we're going to be going into the last phase, talking about exactly what you need to do in order to, in 2025, I can't talk, y'all. Everything you need to be doing in 2025 to be successful. It's the last part of the 3-part coaching series. I'll see y'all on Sunday.